shouldn't you address the point if you ask me my opinion and I express it and not misrepresent it?
It's just very interesting that whenever I get going on a particular topic, you continue to dominate the conversation, and it seems like that you're not actually here for that.
May I speak?
No, thank you. So
you've not addressed a single point.
I appreciate you giving
A single
me your
point
time.
that I've asked, not one.
The reason why I think it was very important to share this video, Steven Crowder changed my mind, deport all illegals. This 300-pound virtue signaling white hippo filled with self-hatred and the hatred of opposition, the people who disagree with her, is going to make the same arguments and points that a typical leftist will make. And that's the reason why I think it's very important to understand these people. Because in order to be a great debater, you have to understand your opponents, how they think, what they think, and why they think. So if you're so tired of this woke nonsense, then you can skip this video. But I will recommend watch it till the end. Because look, I'm tired too. I don't like to hear these people. They are just insane. I lose some of my testosterone when I watch these people speaking literal rubbish that doesn't even make sense. I think I'm rambling so much. Let's get straight into the video.
It's interesting to think that you're raised by French Canadians, yet you still support deporting all illegal.
Why is that interesting?
Because you would think that if you're being raised by someone who isn't from this country, maybe you would have a more open mindset.
Oh, I think I have a very open mindset. I was born in Detroit. My dad's American. My mom is French Canadian. She now lives in the States. She's very proud, has gone through the process, loves America, speaks the language, pays taxes, contributes. My woman is Latina.
Your woman?
My woman, my lady, my missus.
She belongs to you.
Yeah, she likes, I don't know if you know these Latina women, they love a little bit of possessiveness, but I say it as a term of endearment. She went through the naturalization process. I fell in love with her when I saw a picture of her with her she was actually going through the process. There's a picture for the Statue of Liberty and a MAGA flag that she had. And both of them actually are far more aggressive than I am in deporting illegal aliens because they appreciate the citizenship. They appreciate being a part of this great country. So I don't really think that that's inconsistent. As a matter of fact, I think it's the rule, not the exception. But going back to the question, who would you deport then? Who would you deem acceptable? What's your term as far as, I guess if you disagree with the legal definition of an illegal alien, and then how would we do it?
Unfortunately, you've just asked me like 3 questions. Okay. Which one would you like to answer
Who should be
first?
deported, and how should we do it?
Let me think. I guess I've never considered who I would deport if I was king of the world. Which people would I get rid of first, I guess?
That's a terrible straw man. You're not just trying to get rid of people who you don't like. It's about who is illegal and how should we deport them. Not just deporting anyone you don't like.
Well, I mean, if we go way back in history, because obviously if we don't study history, then we're doomed to repeat it.
Sure.
If we're talking about the colonial era and how, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and all of those things, my question would be, who can be illegal on stolen land?
Well, if you're operating on that logic, then every land is stolen. The world does not operate that way. I'm for sure her anarchist border policies are only exclusive to United States, not entire world.
Illegal aliens not only commit crimes, and that's why I brought it up at a much higher rate than native-born citizens. They also cost the taxpayer $150 to $450 billion a year. It is a serious problem, and obviously you know about our debt, our deficit. So how do we deal with this problem? Or it sounds to me like you're saying you wouldn't even deport people who've come here illegally, that's a crime, and are committing extra crimes while here. You wouldn't deport those people?
No, I don't think I would, actually. I think that the prison system here in America is well equipped to maybe handle the reformation of those citizens. But I think that when your only option is to escape a country, when you're seeking political asylum, it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the entire world to obtain citizenship before you go to the country that you want to be in.
Yeah, but why are they entitled to go to any country they want?
Why is anyone entitled to live in it?
Well, all countries, I don't know if you're aware, like they all have borders and they all have laws and
Yes,
becoming a
I'm
citizen.
aware that
Mexico
countries
is
have borders.
actually, we have one of the most lenient policies out there. In Mexico, you can't even own waterfront property.
Well, yeah, in Mexico that you can't own guns either, and that's why the cartel has a lot of control.
That's a good point.
What I'm saying
it's true.
is-
You disarm the citizens, you end up emboldening the worst of society. It's not as though there's no net laws. If it's 150 to 450 billion dollars a year to the American taxpayer, make the case to the struggling American right now, who's paying taxes out the wazoo, that someone who comes here pays no taxes, shares nothing in common with the culture, language, commits crimes, according to your definition here, should still be allowed to stay and be supported by their tax dollars. Make that case, because that actually is, if we're going to come up with a solution, you need to make that case. Those are the people who are voting.
It's very interesting that you've mentioned multiple times about speaking the language. It's almost as if you demean people for not being fluent in English. I'm curious to see are you fluent in the language that your lady spoke?
So I speak French.
Yes.
She speaks Portuguese, Spanish, and English.
Yes.
But she hates it when people are here in this country and don't speak English. And my mom is French, and she
Unfortunately,
hates it when
that's
people
not
here
the
don't.
So complete obfuscation. She literally admitted that she don't believe in borders. It's a stolen land, and no one is illegal on stolen land. That's exactly why I'm covering this, because it looked like more than 99% of these leftists believe the same thing, that no one is illegal. And what's the end game of that? You will just end up with billions of people who don't even share your language, who don't even share your culture, who don't even understand you. That's what you end up with. And that's the actual democratic position, by the way. They don't say it out loud, but their people say it because that's what they believe. And you can clearly see the real world dangers of believing that. These people are border anarchists. These people are pure globalist anarchists and communists. They don't even hide that. They proudly say it.
Well, it's an irrelevant question. So let's have you answer one question. Just one.
I have said
So you
that
wouldn't
I
deport criminals. So let
No,
me
I
ask
don't
you
think
this.
that anyone should be
Why should the
deported.
American taxpayer keep footing the bill for current criminals who are also illegal aliens? Those are the people who are affected.
Well, it's almost as if that you're insinuating that illegal citizens do not pay taxes at all, because you can receive employment here in the United States. There's a little checkbox that you have to put on job applications.
I didn't say
saying-
that, but go ahead with this trail. I never said that none of them pay taxes.
Well, it's interesting the way that you phrase it, because it's almost insinuating that illegal citizens don't pay taxes.
I would say it's interesting the way you interpret it, because what I said is they cost the American taxpayer 150 to 450 billion. Now I could tell you, provide you the reference if you want to take these with you, so you don't have to take my word
Sure.
for it, that there's about a 17, that's including the 17% offset of taxes that are paid from illegal aliens. So even including that number, it's 150 to 450 billion dollars. Whether they all pay taxes or very few of them pay taxes is irrelevant. It's a net cost. There'd be no way of tracking it.
It's irrelevant.
150 to 450 billion. Why should Americans pay for it?
I'm finding that your argument is very circular. So
Okay.
realistically, I'm realizing that there is no way to change your mind unless you are willing to break the cycle that is your circular argument.
She just realized that there's no way she can refute Steven Crowder's positions and arguments. So now she's obfuscating with her pure virtue signaling tone and passive aggressive manner.
Right. So what would break that is about the language that I speak privately with my woman in my house.
Well, I mean, you referenced earlier that I was moving the goalpost. I was whatever. I'm a social work major here at the University of Oklahoma.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry?
I said, fantastic, good, thank you for the work.
I am just trying to understand where your opinion comes from, because that's what we do.
Sure.
Social science is understanding how you can. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, okay. Social science is understanding how.
You can bat it around like a cat toy, just don't take it with you.
Yeah, it's very tempting. I should have you sign it on the side. But I apologize, I got derailed there for a second. But social science is based on understanding where your opinion comes from.
Sure.
And it takes a certain amount of intelligence to understand why you believe what you believe.
So why do you think you don't understand it?
Because your argument is very circular.
Okay, explain to me how it's circular.
Because it seems as if you're not willing to. When I said that, it's almost as if that you were insinuating that no one who is an illegal citizen is paying taxes.
Yeah.
You immediately brought up statistics saying, well, there is the 17%.
No, I said because you were mischaracterizing what I said. I never said that.
What I was going to ask, I forgot actually.
Well, how is that circular? I corrected what was a straw man. You're
I'm sorry?
it's a logical fallacy, a straw man. You built up an argument that I didn't make. And when I said, well, that's not the argument I made, you said it was circular logic. I said, no, I'm just clarifying that's not what I said.
It's interesting.
Is that fair?
Well, I don't know, but it's interesting.
Is it fair to argue against the point or to present a case against the point that I actually made rather than one you've prepared to make a case against? Because I never said that.
Unfortunately, I think I am done.
I think so.
It is very hard to have a productive conversation with you
I can imagine.
You continue to interrupt me and speak over me, and then say that, well, I'm moving the goalpost, and then given no time to maybe have a rebuttal to that.
Take all the time you want.
No, I'm saying I came here with the intention of actually having a productive conversation.
Yeah, productive conversation with literally straw manning his positions, arguing against statements that he never made. And when he called you out on that you're straw manning my position, instead of moving on or saying, oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong, instead of admitting that you mischaracterized his position, she is now accusing him of interrupting. Just for clarification, she actually never made a single rebuttal. She literally never addressed his arguments. And now she is having a meta conversation. And on top of that, she is claiming that she wants a productive conversation. That's just wild. She is a perfect embodiment of the left.
I just wanted to know who you were and what you thought, because that's what we do in social work.
Yeah.
We want to understand who you are as a person and what you think about the topic that is most concerning to you.
So then shouldn't you listen when I say what I think of the topic, as opposed to making up something I didn't? Hold on. And then I'll give you the floor.
Actually,
Hold on, and then I'll give you the floor. I know you constantly say it, but we can set a timer and see who's interrupting who. Shouldn't you address the point if you ask me my opinion and I express it and not misrepresent it?
It's just very interesting that whenever I get going on a particular topic, you continue to dominate the conversation. I understand that this is your show and there are cameras who are here for you. I get that. But I wanted to have a productive conversation, and it seems like that you're not actually here for that.
May I speak?
No, thank you. So
you've not addressed a single point.
I appreciate you giving
A single
me your
point
time.
that I've asked, not one.
I
You've
wanted
obviously-
to understand who you are as a person.
Okay, well, this will help you understand.
No, you. Not whatever you believe about this, because that's what we do in social work.
So now she's clearly lying. She looked like someone who is very interested and engaged in politics. There's no way she doesn't know that who the hell is Steven Crowder. There's just no way.
I still don't know what it is that you do. Tell me what it is that you do.
In social work.
Yes.
So social work, by definition, we try to work with the person and understand where they are coming from, how they have formed that opinion, and then how we can either agree, disagree, reach commonality. So that's why I was asking you questions about your wife and why you called her your lady and how that was a little possessive. And that's why I got a little offended, because you were interrupting me before I could finish articulating my thought process. I was trying to understand who you are and where you're coming from where you're coming from with this argument. That way we could have a productive conversation. But when you continue to throw stats and you have a very circular argument, it's very hard to understand who you are as a person and achieve a productive conversation. It seems very disrespectful when you continue dominating the conversation, and I don't get a chance to do what I came here to do.
Okay. May I present a suggestion? When you say listening to people and finding out where they're coming from, perhaps when you ask questions, listening to the answers and taking an interest in the reasoning, the rationale, the logic behind it, and not misrepresenting what they say, that would help. That would serve you better as a social worker. Because I don't think you've listened a whole lot.
Could you elaborate on that?
Well, what I mean is, if you ask me my opinion, and then I answer, and you go, "That's interesting. That sounds possessive," or "That sounds."
Well,
what
yes,
term you
I
use?
think that to the
That's
ordinary person, identifying your lady as my lady would sound possessive. But maybe that's a cultural norm that I'm not accustomed to.
Sure, I'm sure you're not. But is that relevant to the point in the answer? Because you interrupted.
sassy.
You interrupted to say that offends me rather than listening. So do you not listen to people who come in and seek your social work the same
No,
way?
I promise I do.
Just
But
not here.
I came here to have a productive conversation, and usually when I encounter someone in my field, they're also looking to have a productive conversation. But the way that you throw in the little tidbits that are demeaning, the way you have very circular argument and you throw stats, that's what makes me a little apprehensive to continue speaking with you.
She is literally having a circular meta conversation. She is like a chat GPT of Reddit. Well, I'm here to have a productive conversation, and it's not look like you'd want that. She literally repeated that same sentence for like 5 times. This is what they are teaching in universities. It's just embarrassing. Look, I also studied social science, but not from woke universities. The contrast between what I studied and what she's saying is just so big.
I'm just trying to understand. Is the tidbit that was demeaning the phrase "my lady"?
No, it's the little side comments that you sneak in when you're having conversations like this. You're a very sassy
Like
individual.
what? I said "my lady." You said that was offensive. What else?
Isn't what you study in social sciences that people come from different backgrounds and you're literally offended because he is speaking in the way that you don't? She have a terrible understanding of social science.
Well, I
think
may have
maybe you interpret
paraphrased,
it-
unfortunately.
I think you paraphrase a lot
Interesting. Why do you think that?
because you've done it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not care to elaborate further? It seems like you enjoy hearing yourself talk.
Well, see, this is what you do. You say you enjoy. Would you like me to speak, or will you then accuse me of dominating the conversation? I think you paraphrase a lot, and I think you strawman a lot. And I don't think you've answered a single question. I don't think you
No, I
presented.
did.
I don't think you've presented your opinion on the issue at hand. I think you've presented a lot of offenses based on some things that I've said and some things that I haven't. I think you've paraphrased yourself into convincing yourself, Savannah, that you have a valid position. And I don't think you do.
So I'm saying that I don't think that anyone should be deported, and you say
Okay.
that I haven't answered any questions. You asked me.
That is one. That is one, and I appreciate you answering that.
Would you like to re-ask the other two, and then maybe I can provide further clarity?
Well, because what you
Actually, I think I am done. I tried to leave earlier. I do appreciate talking with you.
Thank you
I
very
just
much,
wish
Savannah.
that we could have had a productive conversation.
yeah, I do as
All
well.
right. I hope that you have a wonderful
Thank
day.
you. You too, Savannah. Appreciate it.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Listening helps, Savannah.
Well, that was a very productive conversation that you can have with the left because they operate on feelings, not facts. They just reject all the facts. When you present facts, they accuse you of being circular, which actually doesn't make sense because he's coming from a different political philosophy than you. So he's going to make arguments and present facts that benefits his worldview, not yours. I can understand why the hell she is obfuscating because there is no way she can defend that because she don't have a position. She is for open borders, literally no policies or laws, just anarchy. And so is the entire Democratic Party. All of them are insane. They are calling us fascist or crazies just for enforcing laws, just for being normal, just for having common sense. These people have insane positions. Time after time, they are just breaking scale on the far left side. Just pure insanity. They don't even have a consistent worldview. It's not even coherent. She literally accused Steven Crowder of dominating that conversation. Well, there is no way to not dominate that conversation because your worldview is incoherent and inconsistent. That's the reason you cannot debate. And she is a perfect embodiment of the left.